Good evening, it's Saturday night. This is a Gurkha Ghost Gold Band for whoever is interested. It's a damn good cigar, in my opinion. Damn good cigar. Good cigar, man. I like it. Yeah, I got my jacket and shit on because sun's down and it's cold, man. It's getting cold when I take these off. Can't see shit without them, though. Isn't that a damn shame? All the humanity of it all. So what are you guys up to tonight, Saturday night? I should do a live, something live, and let you guys know ahead of time if anybody's interested. We can shoot shit about something. But unfortunately, I don't have a smartphone. I have an old school, yeah, don't laugh. This is my cell phone right here. It's like on the communicator joints Captain Kirk had, you know? Obviously, this won't be monetized. Let me at least go turn it down because, well, this ain't too loud, huh? This is Maiden's first album, Paul Di'Anno singing. I was listening to some Blue Oyster Cult earlier. That's the shit. I had some old Blue Oyster. You know what? Blue Oyster Cult has a brand new album out. It's badass. Been out for a little bit now. It's damn good. It sounds like old shit, except that the mix and the production on it is like sounds state of the art. It's good. I'm telling you. If you've written Blue Oyster Cult off, you need to check out. If you ever liked them, ever, even if you go back into the '70s and you liked them, you need to check out the new album. It's a new album. It's badass. So what are we going to talk about? We can talk about the fact that I didn't do my squats today. We talked about that it was leg day and I skipped it. But I will make it up. I guess I'm going to do legs tomorrow. It's Sunday. It's going to be a hard workout, but it's not really categorized as work because it's like a, I don't know, it's a hobby of sorts, or it's just, I don't know. To me, it's just some of the shit that I got to do to stay fully functioning at this age, fully functional. So let me think. I was going to address some, or expand on some comments and questions that I got. I don't feel like getting too deep into any of this right this minute in this video. I don't feel like getting into, you know, a whole bunch of training shit or nutrition or hormone issues or any of this kind of shit, supplement stuff. I don't feel like talking about that whole shit. I'll tell you what I would like to do. It's a Saturday night. I would love to be out on my bike. And to tell you the truth, you know, my crowd, my era, dudes my age, you know, we had a lot of fun in our day. Well, we still have fun, but a lot of those dudes the guys that I ran with the most, they don't live around here. You know, and we're all getting older. Hell, last time I was out and all these guys were in the same place and I showed up to say hey, hang out, eat some food, drink a few beers, have a couple shots. You know, those guys they came out and were looking at my bike at the time, which was a flat side shovel, which is like a pan shovel, you know, generator bottom. But it was all aftermarket shit. Del Ortho cases, right? Delcron, the hell. Delcron, the older to's carburetor company, Delcron cases and all that bullshit, you know. But it was like, I like those generator bottoms. I think they were really attractive aesthetically. Rigid frame, up sweeps, you know, apes, suicide, you know, real suicide, foot clutch, no front brake. That's what a suicide shifter is. Now I've seen, they ruin everything. Now I've seen, I saw a video where a guy had one on a Sportster, on like an 883 or something. It's supposed to be a suicide shifter he put on here. And it's some kind of centrifugal clutch he put in this bike. So he doesn't even have to use any clutch. It's like on a mini bike, right? And he could stop at the light and he could shift. And then as he took off, you know, he didn't have to use a clutch. And he had all his brakes and stuff. That's not a suicide. Just because you have a shifter, it's not a suicide. I don't even know how we're on this topic. You know how I do. If you got no front brake and you have a foot clutch and a stick shift, that's considered a suicide shift back in the day. And why? Well, because you have no front brake and you have a foot clutch and you have a hand shifter. So think about it. You got one hand now, okay? You got a foot clutch. And then what if you're on a hill with a light? Right side's your brake, left side's your clutch. What's holding you the hell up? You know, one of your legs got to be holding up, so you're going to be off the brake or whatever. You know, if you're on the brake, when you go to swap feet, you got to know how to ride that clutch out so that you're not going to roll down that hill. You know, so you can get up that hill. But last time I saw those guys, they all came out and they were like, they were impressed. They were impressed that I was like, man, you're still riding a rigid? And they were all riding baggers already. They were all riding baggers. This has been some time. They were all riding baggers. I was still riding a rigid with foot clutch, stick shift, all that shit. I made a video today giving my view on this Connor Murphey shit, pun intended, because a brother requested, he asked me, he wrote, what about Connor Murphy, or what do you think about Connor Murphy? And I was like, I don't even know who he is, who's Connor Murphy? So I had to search it. I figured it was YouTube. So I searched and I found out who he is. Just enough so I could see what the controversy was, or what the question, what the implication was there. That in his own. You know, the only reason I'm mentioning it now is we just had Chef Rush. You know, if you look at my totality of videos, I got to throw this in here because some buster's going to come in here and say something. If you look at the totality of my videos, very, very, very few, just a handful of any of those videos, hundreds of videos, only a handful do I mention anybody else on YouTube, you know, in the title and make a video about some other YouTuber. Unless it's just something positive. I try to, you know, positive shit. Try. I don't always succeed. Don't always succeed, but it's not my trip. It's not my shtick. You know, these other cats do it because they don't have anything, they're not bringing anything out of themselves. A lot of these guys aren't. Some are, but they're not bringing much out of themselves. They're going to have to ride with somebody else's fame, somebody else's fortune, somebody else's viewership. So they pick somebody that's got a lot of views, big subscriber base, and they throw their name up there, and most of the time, you know, they slag them. They talk all kind of shit about them, and it gets out of hand. Some of these cats are very disrespectful, and I don't have any respect for that kind of approach, but it's you know, it's the formula. It's the simple formula because negativity sells. It's just spread like wildfire, and they'll get views for it. I don't care so much. If I cared, I would do that kind of shit. I don't care that much. But plus, I like the viewership that I have. I like the viewership I have. I'd rather have quality over quantity any day, any day. But the Conor Murphy thing, and I really ought to turn this off because they may not even, much less not let me monetize it. They may mute. They've done that before. I had a badass bench video where we went over 400 pounds in that video. I mean, we were going. Justin and Jason, they both went over 400 pounds. I don't know what Danny went to 400 or not. I mean, he was well into the threes if he wasn't over 4. And at the time, I was rehabbing his shoulder, so I wasn't benching heavy. But prior to that shoulder injury, you know, Christ, I never went under 400 pounds in any single week, even into my 50s. But it's a badass video nonetheless. Those guys were throwing down hard. We were training together, and YouTube muted it because we had the music up really loud and we're lifting, and they weren't having it. So I had to take the video down. It wasn't any damn good without when you muted it, it didn't make sense. And you know, now, retrospect, it was such a badass video that I should have just done a voiceover, but I don't even think I knew how to do voiceover at that time. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it was that long ago, a couple of years ago, a few years ago. But, yeah. Anyway, I should probably turn that down. If they mute this son of a bitch, there'd be no point in it at all. I gotta get my beverage here. Hang on a second. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, so the thing is, Conor Murphy, all right, first you had Chef Rush. You talk about Rush, you know, I'm sleeping like Rush. That's going to be a new saying. I just coined that phrase, sleeping like Rush. That means I ain't sleeping a couple hours a night. It's not by choice, not by design. I'm not sleeping well. And I wake up every day. I get up 4:30, 5 o'clock, take a piss. What am I going to do, go back to bed? You're probably thinking, yeah, well, I'm downstairs anyway. I got to come downstairs, take a piss. And then, you know, the kitchen's right there, so I just go in there, throw some coffee on, and I'm up. But I like getting an early start. So basically, I'm sleeping like Rush. And it's not part of my program, it just is what it is. I don't advocate it. So I made a video about Chef Rush because everybody else was busting his balls. You know, about him saying he's natural, which I'm not saying he's telling the truth, not telling the truth. I don't know the man, I don't know. Saying he's a natty with 24-inch arms, sleeps 2 hours every night, eats up to 10,000 calories a day, eats over 1,000 grams of protein. What else did he say? Oh, he does 2,222 push-ups first thing in the morning out of bed, every day. So, you know, a lot of guys, well, quite a few guys, the thing to do was to make videos, slagging the guy. Whatever. So I figured I'd weigh in because he does the 60-20-20 thing, and I wanted to point out, yeah, that's my thing. We do the 60-20-20 thing, works like gangbusters, but it's a little different. It's not just that. It's also the choices of foods that are more thermogenic, in other words, more fibrous foods. And you do the opposite if you're trying to get big, and you can afford to do that. You're just looking for sheer size. Then you want simple, easy, low-cost, calorically, foods. Because that's going to put the weight on you. That's going to help you put the size on easily. You're going to gain weight that way. So still, you keep that thermogenic shit in mind, and you do the converse, you do the inverse. Or however that worked out, right? You still are considering the thermogenic effect of food. And the thermogenic effect of dieting, that includes exercise-induced thermogenics and everything that follow along through with it. You do the opposite if you're trying to get big. Anyway, and you can afford to do that as far as your physique-wise. So I wanted to say, hey, there is such thing as too much of a good thing. And 60-20-20 is fine and well, but once you get so far, I don't know that it's a very, I don't know that it's your best choice to go over 300 grams of protein. I don't believe that's necessary. 320 if you're a bigger guy, okay, all right, but this isn't long term. You understand? This is just a means to an end, from here to here. It's not a sustainable thing. And certainly 1,000 grams, my opinion, dangerous, hazardous. So I had to voice that. That's why I did that. Well, now I'll have to talk about this just because it's just in the face of that. Now what do we got? It's like Ringling Brothers, Barnum Bailey. You know what I mean? We got Chef Rush. He comes on and does his thing and talks about what he does. Now this guy, he more than one-ups that. He's not eating mad calories and shit, but he eats his shit. He eats his shit. He comes out and tells you he eats his shit, he drinks his piss and his semen. There's jism, there's more than semen in the mix. It contains semen, sperm, and some other things. It's not all just, So he consumes that. And I guess other people's too, like him and his partner. Talk about a real training partner. I mean, those guys talk about doing whatever it takes. That's the real shit. They're doing whatever it takes. I ain't going out like that. But the kid's got big balls to come on social media on YouTube and post videos and just say about it. Yeah, I eat my shit. So what? Yeah. I think that's a reasonable thing to do. No, I think it's an insane thing to do. Do I acknowledge that fecal matter is used medicinally and has been different points and times and places for various gut health concerns, flora issues and stuff? Yeah, but it's not like you just give them anybody's fecal matter. It's like close relative or whatever. However, they genetically try to match it up, and they don't give them a turd to eat. Like, here, chew on this turd. They put it in encapsulated or whatever else. I don't know. As far as the nutritional value of jism, that's negligible, man. That shit's trace element. You want to say, oh, there's a lot of protein in there. Not really. Comparatively to what? A lot of protein, what I read was 100 milliliters worth, and I don't think you're busting 100 milliliters worth, are you? If you are, shit, then you belong under the big top. You ought to join the freak show or get into do some pornography or something in that industry, because if you're busting 100 milliliters, that's pretty, I think that's a pretty copious amount. But per 100 milliliters, I think you get 5 grams, estimate. That ain't shit. What's going to be easier? Eat one egg to best that, or collect up enough jism to make 100 milliliters to get 5 grams. It's ridiculous. The other thing is, as far as the testosterone and bioavailability shit, I call bullshit. Not by drinking that or eating that shit, nah. And for obvious reasons, and as far as zinc content, it's got a lot of zinc in it. Again, it's all relative. Compared to what? A lot of zinc. I guess it does for that, per 100 milliliters, it has like 1/3 of the recommended daily allowance of zinc. So what does your, what does your relatively minuscule fucking load have in it then, compared to 100 milliliters? Who knows? So it's not only unsavory and revolting, in my opinion, but it's just not practical. And as far as drinking your urine, it's sterile, but I don't, hey, to each their own, man. Do what you want to do. It's your urine, it's your life, it's your body. Do what you want to do. I don't advocate that shit. I ain't gonna be trying that anytime soon. And what's the other issue with it? What else was he doing? Oh, eating his crap. Yeah. I don't know, man. These kids today, they'll do anything. But I'll tell you what, as horrible, as revolting as that sounds, I can't help but suspect that if they came out with some paper somewhere, some scientific study, and they said all of a sudden, hey, this turns out to build like incredible amounts of muscle. It's just off the hook. I know there are some dudes out there that would be getting down with it. Not this guy. No, thank you. No, thank you. Dude. So that's one thing about that. And again, the only reason I'm mentioning that is just because in the face of the Chef Rush thing that was just such big news, busting his balls over what he claimed, or what he shared, if that's what he does. This dude, that shit, that doesn't even compare. That's talking about stealing somebody's thunder. That's the shit people should be talking about, I guess. Tell you, if any of you older cats live around here, man, or nearby, you want to go for a ride sometime, I don't care if it's cold, I'll go for a ride. You go out tearing it up, but yeah, I ain't going out freezing all by myself. That ain't happening. I've done it many nights. That ain't happening nowadays. That's been a long time ago. I mean, I'll go out. You know, I've ridden in torrential downpours on this bike, and this bike's a widowmaker, but a potential widowmaker. You gotta respect this one. You gotta respect it. It could hurt you. A lot of things can, you know. But I got another ride for this summer. I'll have that up this summer, and that's going to be more of something that I can around a little bit in. Older bike, older engine platform. That's what I prefer. I just tried this newer stuff. You know what I mean? The fat tire, the soft tail. That's new to me. You know, this twin cam motor. And I'm going back to the old shit. Mechanical regulator, you know, all that shit. If you know what that is, if you're down with that, that's where I'm going with that shit. Shit that on the side of the road, I can fix. I can fix it on the road. I mean, what are you gonna do if you go out and you have a bad crank sensor with this, or you have a bad cam sensor, or you have a bad map sensor? Map sensor on a carbureted motorcycle, I don't even get it. Doesn't even make sense. Truly doesn't. You don't have no control over the fuel injection portion of it. It's carburetor. It's completely mechanical. So what do you need to know that for? What are you going to do with that barometric pressure information? Anyway, I guess I'm going back in. Or I'm going to turn this off so I can really turn this up. They'll probably, I know this one can't be monetized, but they'll probably, some of them are monetized and have commercials, but they're not coming to me. They're demonetized to me, but they have commercials on them because those few, that mere pittance, those few pennies go to whoever owns the copyright of the music that was too loud in the background. You know? They get me for that sometimes. Hey, whatever. Everybody's just got to play the game, you know. I don't. It ain't a big deal to me, man. I don't mind that shit. If they just let me play whatever music I wanted and use whatever music I wanted, and then just take the change from it on that video, I don't care about that. I'm good with that. Shit. I can have some good music in my videos then, not just in the background. You know what I mean? I'd be down with that. Why not? I guess I rambled enough. Some weightlifting shit. I need to do that. I'll tell you what I need to do. tomorrow, it's Easter, I gotta do legs, and I'll probably video that. It ain't gonna be much out here. It's gonna be stiff leg deadlifts and free squats and I don't know what else. If that's all I got, I'll do a lot of those. But I might make a video about triceps because now it's out of hand, man. You got dudes making videos because they got to keep cranking them out, right? Cranking them out. You know, how much do you need to know exercise-wise to build your triceps? How complicated you got to make it? I can show you just a handful of that triceps workout I just did the other day that I told you about. I'm going to video what I did and show you guys. I'm going to do that tomorrow because every head of my triceps is sore as a big dog from that shit. And of course, I'm not on anything. My diet is kind of light right now. And I haven't trained for a couple months, a few months, more than a couple. So I'm sore, but I don't know that I should be this sore. But anyway, point is that limited selection of exercises that I did absolutely worked all three heads of that tricep. So, I mean, how much do you need? If you enjoy the variety, variation, you know, that's cool, that's awesome. Do your thing, man. Do whatever you want to do. You know, stand upside down and do some shit. I don't give a shit what you do. Do whatever. It works, it works. And if you're having a good time, you go ahead and do it. But do you need to? Nah, you don't need to. You don't need to. If you just want to do what's sufficient, keep it simple, you know? You don't need to do all that shit. I like to do a lot of different things too sometimes. You know, break the monotony. But is it really necessary? Nah, not really. Not really. Nah. Is that my phone? Yeah, I thought my phone was vibrating. All right, I'm out of here. I'll tell you what, cooking with chicken, this red stripe is awesome. Now the other night, I switched up and tried this porter that I had, which was had coffee in it, and peanut butter and chocolate or whatever. Couldn't taste all of those flavors. I couldn't detect all those notes in it. But it's not like whiskey. Like really good whiskey, I can taste these different, this after note, aftertaste, and first throw it back. I can taste the different things. I can taste the fruitiness or the nuttiness or the woodiness. I can taste these things in it. But in that porter I had all this shit in it, I couldn't taste all those individual. It might just be my taste buds. I don't usually drink beer. But this lager, Jamaican lager, this red stripe, this is badass with chicken, man. You cook the chicken with this red stripe in it, even bacon, just pouring it in there with chicken. Woo, this red stripe's badass for flavoring chicken. Real good. All right, brothers and sisters, I hope you all have an awesome evening. Tomorrow's Easter. Happy Easter to everybody out there. If you celebrate Easter, if you don't celebrate Easter, or whatever the hell it is you celebrate or believe in, enjoy yourselves. You know, get on with your bad self, have a good time, enjoy your weekend. For me, I don't know how many of you, probably most of you guys, Monday, back to the grind, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Back to work, man. I'm healed up enough now. Back to work, man. Back to work. Turn that hamster wheel. Crack. Get busy. Get busy. Get to making that money. All right. I'd love to go out for a ride tonight, but where am I going to go from here right now, and why? I went out a couple times a day. All right, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys later. Have an awesome evening.